Alright, so this is obviously going to be like a chisme for the week. Um, a lot of you guys have been wondering, like, what the hell has been going on with me, because you guys know that I had announced that I was pregnant, and then, like, I stopped posting for a while, and then it's just a lot of shit has been happening. And I've been, like, undecided on whether or not, like, I should put this video up or, like, even talk about it, but once I started to think about whether or not I wanted to put it up, and after like everything that I've been through, I feel like I want to let you guys know whether you like me, whether you don't like me, but most of all, like, I'm doing this for the people that have my back, because I am like really thankful for all of your guys' support, because I fucking hate crying and I won't cry. Like, I'm not. I've trained myself like not to cry, and that's why I feel like I've held off on like making this video, because I don't fucking like to cry like in front of people. Like, I'll cry on my own time. Not, you know, like, that's dumb. Like, I feel like it's dumb when people like make videos and then they fucking cry in their videos. So people like, oh my god, like, are you okay? Like, I don't like that shit like at all. So it's just like, I'm gonna let you guys know what's been going on, just in case you guys have been going through issues like this. And I don't know, maybe I can give you guys some hope, because I'm not a hopeful person at all. It's just like, I'd rather know the truth than to cling on to hope for something that's not going to happen. And I guess that could be a good thing, but at the same time it's a bad thing. But that's just how I am. So let's just go ahead and talk about it, because everybody's been like wanting to know. So I've heard that a lot of people around Riverside have been like running their mouths about like me being too young, and like, oh my god, like Jenny got pregnant, blah blah blah. It was an accident, it was a mistake. My baby will never be considered to be a mistake, you know, regardless if it wasn't planned. I don't give a shit if I'm not ready or not. It's like, I decided to have sex, and you take responsibility for your actions. So it's just like, I don't know why people have been saying that like I would abort my kid. Like, I am not a person who would have the heart to abort my kid, regardless if it was planned or not planned. But I did plan my baby, and I wanted to have a baby. And, like, I was really happy when I found out that I was pregnant, regardless if I was still, like, like not married, or like, everybody was really happy and everybody was really supportive, and everyone was really excited for the baby. So I found out that I was pregnant on February 14th. So I found out on Valentine's Day. I was like when I found out, like before I even took the pregnancy test, like I knew I was pregnant, because it was just like a feeling in my heart. Like I just knew I was pregnant. So I had taken the pregnancy test, and then like when I had peed on it, I was like waiting, because it was like a digital one. And then like I peed, and then it was just like waiting, waiting, waiting. And then like I put it down, and then like I picked it up, and it said like pregnant. And I was like I still couldn't believe it. I felt like it was too good to be true, in a sense, because like I kind of had this idea in my head that like I wasn't able to like have babies or anything. Like, I don't know, it was just weird. And then like I was really happy. Like I started to cry, and like I told my boyfriend, like, at the time, like when we were both really happy and we were both really excited, I was scared, because I didn't really like know what to expect. Like, you don't really know what to expect, like being pregnant, until you're finally there. Like, you're just so easy to like underestimate pregnancy, and that's what I did, because I had never been pregnant in my life before. So yeah, after that, like, I was just, taking it day by day. I wasn't really like feeling too pregnant until about like I reached 6 weeks. So when I was like about 6 weeks, this is like a month ago, mm, I caught the stomach flu. And I really do believe that like I had caught it from my dogs because I was reading online. I'm the type of person that like does research and like I do a lot of that stuff. I like to self-diagnose myself because like 90% of the time I'm able to self-diagnose myself even if I go to the doctors and they tell me like you have this and I'm like no, I have this. Like no one else knows yourself as much as you do. I don't know, I have this like weird trust issues like with doctors or whatever. But anyways, so like I me and my sister had caught the stomach flu and it was like a really really bad stomach flu and that's like when everything started like to go downhill. So I caught the stomach flu. Like I said, me and my sister both caught it, and it was the worst stomach flu of my fucking life. And for some reason, like since I was pregnant, like I thought it was like pregnancy, like symptoms. You know how like you get morning sickness and stuff, and like if you guys follow me on Instagram, like I had posted a couple of times, like oh my god, like I've been sick, but it was my body trying to fight the stomach flu and then like I was throwing up all night and you guys like I have a phobia of throwing up. Like I hate throwing up so the whole time I was throwing up like I would hold my nose and like close my eyes because I was just like I hate it. So that whole night I threw up and then my sister was like out too. Like she had like a fever like the whole day. She wouldn't wake up. And so I was scared because like I thought like something was gonna happen to the baby because of how sick that I was. Um, and so I kept getting this like pain in my stomach, like right here, like right in the middle. And this was like 3 days after like I had been like throwing up and stuff. So I had the stomach flu for about a week. It was horrible. Like horrible, horrible. I even got rid of my dogs and I got a lot of shit about that. But it's just like when you're pregnant, like, and you feel like something is like getting in the way of like your health because like you're obviously making your baby, it's like I will do whatever, and I'm pretty sure like all you moms out there will do whatever for your kids. So it's just like I don't really give a fuck about what anybody has to say about me or the decisions that I make with my life because it's my life. Like I don't sit here and judge you guys based off of what you do. Like you do what you gotta do. Everybody lives their life differently, so why are you guys gonna come and attack me? But anyways, so after that, like I had went to the ER after being sick for like a week because like every time I would eat, I would have a pain in my stomach. But I guess when you have the stomach flu, your stomach and stuff like it swells up. So like every time you eat, like you get pain. So I wasn't able to eat at all, which is why I've lost so much weight. Like I started losing weight at that during that time. So then when I went into the ER, the doctor did like they took my blood out. I don't know if you guys ever been to the ER. I had never been to the ER, but like this past month I've gone a total of 3 times because yesterday I was in there too. Well, I was in there all last night, but I'll get to that later on in this video. And I'm sorry if this video is long. I guess this is for like my true fans that really want to know about what's going on with me. You guys can sit and listen to everything I gotta say. All right? Okay. So then when I went into the ER, they took my blood out to check like my HCG levels for the pregnancy. And then since like whenever you're pregnant, like if your head hurts or anything, like you're not supposed to take any medicine. Like I know they say like, oh no, you can take medicine, but like I said, like if I'm pregnant, I'm not gonna do anything that'll harm my baby because it's just like, why would you do that? Like, I don't know, that's just the way I think. Like, even when I would like walk outside and there was somebody smoking a cigarette, I will hold my breath, like passing by for as long as it took because secondhand smoke is like bad for when you're pregnant. But anyways, the doctor had prescribed me medication for like when you're nauseous and stuff. And then like I looked online because I was like, I don't know, it's not right. They even did an ultrasound and they said that the baby was fine. So I was like, okay, all right. And then when I went back home, I searched like because I won't take the medicine until I know the side effects of the medicine, what it's going to do, and especially being pregnant. Like, you're not supposed to eat certain things when you're pregnant. Like, and I was very aware of that. And anytime I would go out to eat, like to a restaurant, I would always search, like, is it okay to eat this? Is it okay to eat that? Like, what am I not supposed to eat? So, um, yeah, I was very like careful about that. But when I searched about the medicine that he had prescribed me, it said that it was not okay to take while pregnant. So I was just like, why the fuck are they prescribing me this knowing that I'm pregnant and it's gonna affect the baby? Like, I don't know. I was just really upset about that. So I didn't take it. I was like, whatever. Just gonna have to get through it. So after that, my mom had made a an appointment for me to go see my doctor to do like an actual like ultrasound, like not a fast one at the ER. So I went to go get my ultrasound, and then they did a vaginal one. So the vaginal one, you can see everything like much clearer. So I was already like 6 weeks in a couple of days. Like, I'm not really too sure. My due date was supposed to be on October 24th, like around that time. And then my last missed period was like sometime in January. So I believe I was about 6 weeks pregnant. 6 weeks and 7 days. Yes, I remember because the doctor told me. Yeah, I remember. So he did the ultrasound, and my mom and my sister were there with me, and I was like, okay, well, like the hospital had said that everything was okay. So I'm like, my baby is fine. So then when I went, he did it or whatever, and then he said that there was no baby. And I was like, like, what do you mean? Like, and I was still feeling really sick from the stomach flu, so I was barely trying to get over that. And then I was still trying to, like, comprehend, like, what was happening. So he said that I had a pregnancy, that's what's called a blighted ovum, is where, like, there's a sac and everything, but there's no baby inside. Like, he said that it's normal for it to happen the first pregnancy that you have, and it's like really common for women to have that, but you're not really like aware of this kind of stuff, like I said, until you go through it. So I was like, well, like, what do you mean there's no baby? Like, I was still kind of like, no, like, that's not true. Like, I'm pregnant. Like, I feel pregnant. Like, I feel nauseous, like, and all this stuff. But he was like, yeah, like, I mean, there's no heartbeat. Like, I don't hear anything or anything at all. So I was just like, okay, like, and I didn't want to cry, like, right then and there, because I was like, I was still confused about everything. And then, like, my mom and my sister were there, and like I said, I don't really like when people like see me cry, because I hate it. I don't know why. Before, I used to be like a crybaby, but I think it's because like people feed off of my energy. So if I'm sad, like, I hate this. So like, if I'm sad, I don't want someone else to be sad, you know? So after the doctor had told me that, he said that he was gonna like keep sending me back, like, to get blood taken out and to keep getting like ultrasounds and stuff, just to make sure that there was no baby. And then like I looked at my sister, and like I looked at my mom. This is why I didn't even want to fucking record this video, because it's hard not to get emotional. Like, it's really hard. Um, I looked at my mom and my sister, and like they were both like, sad, because you're not expecting that. Like, you're expecting like, oh, your baby's fine, or you know, but that's not what we heard. Um, so then after that, like, I went home, and I was still like confused about everything, because it's like, what the hell, like, everything that I had been going through was just like already enough, and then like on top of this, it was like, you know, you don't really know what to think anymore. So I had to wait a whole nother week. So it was like a whole week of waiting, of me trying to recover. So I was in bed for literally the whole week. Like, I don't even know, like, I was so depressed that like I wouldn't want to eat. Like, all I would do was just like watch Netflix. Like, I wouldn't even want to post anything. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I still had the pregnancy symptoms, like, and everything. So I just felt horrible because I was stuck in between like being a mom and like still working and stuff and like doing me, because it's just like what, like you don't know what to do at that time. Like I felt like I couldn't plan anything at all. Like I had my plans like to travel and stuff, but like I had to put a hold on that, and I didn't mind putting a hold on that because I just wanted to know that my baby's health was okay. The reason why I say I'm not a hopeful person anymore is just because like during that week that I was like waiting, and then like ew, I haven't even shaved my armpits. Like that's how like bad I've been. Sorry. Um like everyone was always telling me like, no, don't worry, like your baby is there, your baby is there, like don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Have hope, like pray and do all this stuff. Like I just didn't want to get my hopes up for something that wasn't going to happen. Like the doctor had told me, but then I started reading online and I read a whole bunch of stories about people saying like, no, your baby is there. Like I had a blooded ovum, and then they did this ultrasound like later on, and then he was there and all this stuff. So I still kind of had that little hope, but at the same time, like I just kept like just thinking about it, and then I'd be like, no, don't think that, and then like I'd be like, okay, well, I want to start working again, but I'm just like, no, like don't think that either. So it's just like it was so stressful. Like I even had like my birthday like pass like on that day, on the day that I was going through all of that. And then my mom was like, "Come on, like te hago una comida, like let's go out to eat." And I was just like, "No, like for what? Like I don't want to go out anywhere." So I was just at home like literally doing nothing. Like literally I would wake up, go to the kitchen, eat something, come back to my room, and then just sleep it off because I felt like sleeping was like the only way I wouldn't really feel anything. So I went to go get blood taken out. I've been getting so much blood taken out to test like my HCG levels, and my hormones would go up, and then they would go down, and then they would go up, and then the doctor would be like, so if they go down, it means like that's not normal, like your pregnancy isn't normal. So I went to go get the other ultrasound done, and then again, like the doctor said, I'm sorry, like I know this isn't what you've been wanting to hear. Like you've been through a lot already, and yeah, like there's no baby. Like the sac had gotten bigger, like the yolk sac was there, but there was like no baby, and like I was already like 8, 9 weeks. Like there should already be a heartbeat. Like you should already be seeing like everything. So pretty much the doctor told me like from there, like either I schedule a D&C, I wait for the miscarriage to happen naturally, or to take some pills to like start the miscarriage, because it's like there's no point in being pregnant when there's not going to be a baby anymore, because my pregnancy symptoms were getting worse, and like I still haven't been able to like work or anything. So I just kept waiting day after day, and then on Saturday of last week, no, not last week, what's today? Today's Friday. So, yeah, last Saturday, which was on the 21st, was when I started to get cramps, like really, really, really bad cramps. And so I was like, I already knew that the miscarriage was like gonna happen, because like your body eventually detects that there's no baby and it's not like a fertile pregnancy. So I started cramping, and the doctor like had mentioned like, oh, this is what it's gonna be like, blah blah blah. But like I said, you don't know until you're finally there. And I was cramping so bad, like it was literally the worst pain that I've ever felt in my life. And they say that like miscarriages are pretty much like mini mini like contractions in a way, because your body's trying to get rid of like the sac or whatever is inside of your you know and so he had told me that if I get scared or anything, that I should go to the ER, because they'll help you there and all this shit, blah blah. So the pain was so bad that like I was like blacking out. Like I felt like I was like going into shock, because my body was like all tingly. Like my eyes were like halfway open, and like I had to like control my breathing. And I told mom, I was like, you know what, like I need to go to the ER because it hurts too much. So they took me to the ER again. They took out more blood. And then when I hadn't started bleeding, but like when I was in there, like is when like I started to bleed. And then the doctor went ahead and did another ultrasound on me. The pain went away, and then it would come back, and then it would go away, and then it would come back. And then the doctor, like after he did the ultrasound, he told me that like everything was already getting ready to come out. So when you go through a miscarriage, like you literally have like clots like coming out. It's like it scared me because like it's not normal blood, you know, like, and especially like feeling like emotional about the miscarriage already. It's like going through the pain is like just like 10 times worse. But I mean, I felt like I would have been more sad if I knew there was an actual baby and then my baby died. So I guess it was kind of like bittersweet, like knowing that there was nothing in there, because it would be like 10 times more devastating knowing that like my baby had died inside me. I don't know, it's just like weird. It's a weird experience, and it's just like I don't wish this upon anybody, but things like this happen all the time, but we're just not aware of it. So if you're going through it, like hang in there and just be strong. Be strong for yourself, for everybody that's around you that cares about you, and you'll eventually have your baby, you know? And it's sad to say, but I know a lot of people like aren't able to have babies, or you know, like after like hearing a lot of stories like on my Instagram, cuz like after people kind of like started like noticing what I was going through, because I did confirm that like I had miscarried or started my miscarriage. Like I had a lot of people kind of like open themselves up to me, and that's why I wanted to make this video, to like show that like you guys aren't alone. And we as women, um, we go through a lot of things, and I just want to let you guys know that you guys aren't alone. Um, so anyways, after I started like bleeding and stuff, like they had told me like, you know, like we're gonna prescribe you like pain medication for your contractions and all this stuff, but everything should be coming out. And I started pushing out like blood clots, and it was just like it's really graphic, because it's like it's just really gross. Like it's not a normal period, you know. Sometimes when you get your period, you have like clots. It's like these clots are like clots, like you push it out and it just comes out. And so I was on pain medication because it hurt, like it was still hurting, and then like losing all this blood, like you're like lightheaded, you know, you're still nauseous, your hormone levels are still high because you're still technically pregnant, and it takes a while for that to go away. So it's just like it's so much stuff to like take in and get through. And I just like I did have hope of like getting better, because when you're sick and stuff, like you need to have some type of hope to keep you going through the pain, through the emotional part of it and stuff. So yeah, anyways, I forgot where I was at, or where I left off at, because it's just like so much shit that's happened. So yeah, that happened on Saturday. And then I came back home and I felt okay. I was just like, okay, now I know what's gonna happen, and you know, I have my mom to support me and help me and stuff. And then let's see, Saturday went by, and then Sunday went by, and then my doctor wanted to see me again after like I was bleeding. So I bled a good amount. And then when I went in to go see my actual doctor, the one that usually always does my ultrasounds, he did another vaginal ultrasound, and he had said that everything came out because he didn't see anything inside my cervix or anything. So I was like, okay, you know, I felt a sense of relief, even though I felt like shit and like I was still bleeding a little bit. I was like, it's finally over. You know, I get to breathe. I get to start eating right and getting back to my normal self, making YouTube videos, and, you know, just being myself, because I haven't felt like myself this whole month. So then, 2 days ago, actually, you know, that day that I had started uploading pictures, you guys had seen, like, oh my god, like, you're back. So, like, I had the energy to, like, put on my makeup and stuff, but I was still feeling like shit. But I'm taking baby steps to get back to my old self again. And then, like, I took these pictures really fast because I was feeling nauseous, and I was just feeling like pregnant again. And I was like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, I've already like let everything out, and my doctor said that I should be fine. And then after I had made this video, like I started feeling like sick. Like I started feeling cramps again, and they were just like bad, like bad. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm going through this again. And then I started to bleed more. And my mom was like, here, just take the pain medication. So I started taking the pain medication that the doctor had prescribed me from the past because my contractions lasted like another 3 hours. So then, like, I went to sleep and I was still bleeding. Like, I've been using like the really, really big pads. Like, let me show you guys the pads that I've been using because they're fucking huge. So I've been using these pads. Like, these are like the big pads, like the night ones. And yeah, all of yesterday, well, when I started getting the contractions again, I started bleeding more and like clots started coming out. But I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe it's normal because miscarriages last like can last up to 2 to 3 weeks. But I just felt like weird because my doctor had told me that everything was out already. um so I just like got through the pain because like I've been through so much pain already that like I got used to the pain. So I was like, okay, I'll get through it, whatever. And then like yesterday, last night, I just kept bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. I would literally change my pad. Like, I changed my pad every 30 to 45 minutes and it was soaked. Like, soaked. Like, I even went through my bed and everything. And it just got to the point where I was so lightheaded. I was like, dude, like, I'm losing way too much blood. Like, I don't know what's going on. So I went again to the ER, which was last night. And they were just like, well, you might need a blood transfusion because your blood levels are low. And then they took out more blood, and then they did another ultrasound. And then they told me that there was still stuff inside me, and they were going to schedule me to do a DNC at night, like at 4 in the morning. But then they were like, no, we're not going to do a DNC on you. So what they did was like they just opened me up. Like I had to like spread my legs open, and they scraped everything out. It was so uncomfortable. And then the doctor told me, she's like, if you keep bleeding more than one pad an hour, then you should come back. And I'm just like, well, that's why I'm here. And then they were prescribing me some medication to like make me bleed more to like get everything out. But I was just like, I'm not taking this. Like, I'm already over bleeding. Like, I don't know what to do anymore. Like, for like 3 hours, actually for 2 hours, I was asking them, like, can I have some water? Like, can I have juice? Like, I'm over here dehydrating and shit. Like, look at how pale I look. Like, I look so pale. I feel like shit. Even my voice, like, doesn't even sound like normal. And then, I just left. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I need to go home. And as soon as I got home, I just started crying because I just felt like shit. Like, I felt like the more I try and get better, it's like I take 2 steps forward and then I take 3 steps back because it just, like, shit just keeps happening to me. And then my doctor called me today, this morning. The good thing is that I have no more pain right now. So, like, I'm not in pain, but I'm still taking my pain medication. And then the doctor called me into the office today in Mobile. And then again, he like opened up my cervix and he scraped everything out. And he was like, you shouldn't have any more bleeding, but if you keep bleeding, come back. So that's the 411 on what I've been going through. I just been trying to take it one day at a time. So that's why I haven't really been uploading videos and stuff because I've been in bed. But I mean, I feel like I just wanted to tell you guys because I know it's like personal or whatever, but if I can help out others and try to make themselves feel better about what they're going through, just know that you're not alone and just know that you'll get through it because I'm still not fully through it. I'm still bleeding and stuff, but I know it'll get better in time. I'm literally like just fuck it, like taking it a day at a time. I'm drinking my Starbucks because I have to, drink my fluids and stuff. So, yeah. I mean, I guess I hope you guys enjoyed this Chisme for the week. Some crazy ass shit. I never thought that I would be able to, like, get through something like this, but when you're, like, in my shoes or in anything, like, when you're sick, you can't feel bad for yourself and you have to just keep going. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything, leave them in the comments down below. I really like to make videos, like, for you guys, because right now, like, that I'm recording, like, I totally forgot about everything that I'm going through. Like, I feel like I have like a whole bunch of friends that like I've never met before. So I just hope that when I get better, I can start uploading more videos, more helpful videos, because it's been a lot this past month, and I can't wait to get better. You guys have no idea how excited I am to get better. And thank you guys so much for all of your love and support and all of the good comments that you guys send me. You know, I'm sorry I can't get back to each and every one of you, but just know that I really, really do appreciate it. And everything that you guys been helping me with, like, has been helping me get through this, even though it's been hard as fuck. But anyways, yeah, I will talk to you guys all in my next video.